Okay, exercise number 5 is going to introduce string skipping. So you'll notice that you're going to be ascending again, but instead of going to the A string, you skip over it and go right to D. Then you go back down to the A string, skip over the D and go to the G, go back to D, skip over the G and go to B, go down to G, skip the B and go to E. Then it repeats. Alright, here I go. I'm going to play it for you. 120 beats per minute. Okay, that's exercise 5. Let's move on to exercise 6. Exercise number 6 is going to be essentially the descending version of exercise 5. So instead of going ascending like this, we're going to go descending, and we're still going to do the string skipping. Okay, you get the idea. Let's move on to exercise 7. Okay, exercise 7 is going to be an ascending pattern. However, you're going to, instead of being chromatic, you're going to actually skip a fret each time, which is more like a whole tone pattern. And I'll play this one at 120 beats per minute. So on and so forth up the fretboard. And I just thought of something I need to mention to you, and that is make sure that you're breathing when you're doing these. I know that sounds funny, but actually I just noticed that when I was playing that, I was kind of holding my breath and kind of breathing sporadically. But you want to make sure that as you're playing, it doesn't matter, whenever you're playing anything, you want to make sure that you're breathing. And obviously you have to breathe to live, but I'm talking about breathing in a way that's a nice contiguous breath, just a normal breathing pattern. And you don't want to be holding your breath. And another thing you don't want to be doing, and actually I noticed this when we were shooting these videos, is that I actually have a problem with cinching my jaw, kind of closing it shut real tight when I'm playing, and it actually made my jaw kind of sore. And so you want to make sure that you're not doing that either. Make sure that you're kind of relaxed, that you're not tightening up your muscles in your neck or in your back or in your cinching your jaw or anything like that. Just nice relaxing pattern, and hey, just have fun. That's what this whole thing is about. Okay, let's move on to exercise 8 next. Okay, exercise 8 is basically the inverse of exercise 7. So instead of ascending, you're going to be descending. Okay? I'll play at 120 beats per minute for you. so forth. All right, let's move on to exercise 9 next. Exercise 9. Exercise 9 is essentially the same as exercise 7. However, you're going to skip a string each time. Okay? And you really want to focus on accenting that first beat on each one of these. I think that'll help you a lot. Okay? The reason I'm so big on that, emphasizing the first beat, is because it basically signals to you the note that you're kind of going for. If you just see a bunch of black notes all over a page or a bunch of numbers in your tab, it's kind of hard to organize that in your brain. But if you say to yourself, okay, on each beat, on each downbeat, each beat 1, I'm gonna accent that note. It gets a lot easier. Okay, I'll play it 120 beats per minute for you. One thing I need to mention, I've actually gotten, I've taught these exercises before, and I've gotten some questions from people that are like, what scale are these exercises from? And I should mention, these exercises are not from a scale. They're not part of any scale. They're just simply exercises that don't have any kind of tonal relationship. They're called atonal. So they don't have any kind of, it's not any type of scale, it's not any kind of mode, it's not any kind of pentatonic, anything like that. Just simply notes that are organized in a way that you can train your fingers and your picking hand on what to do. Another thing I should mention about these exercises, and one of the reasons I'm big on them, is because they allow you to be able to focus on only one thing at a time. All you're focusing on is what frets to place your fingers on. With a scale, you got to be wondering, am I playing this note or this fret or that fret? With these, you just simply say, okay, I know I'm going to be on these 4 frets, and I know I'm going to be just playing each and every note. So it eliminates part of the difficulty of playing a scale, and it just trains your fingers just on the exercise portion of it, kind of like going out and running your couple of miles every day before your big game on Sunday. Okay? Let's move on to exercise 10, the last one.